Hello and welcome to Amberlea Model Railway. In this episode I'll be talking about the scenic hillside that you can see here in the picture, and also be starting a new feature called What's on the Workbench, WOTWB, which will be a short film about what I'm actually doing in the background. Small projects, started and finished, within a couple of hours, rather than the large projects that take days or weeks. So as you can see, the scenic hillside is now all but finished. Just a little bit of titivating to do around the edges here, but all in all it's done, and I think it looks pretty good. There'll be a feature on how I did all this coming up later on in the video. So let's go back to me now a few weeks ago when I first started to think about and to put into practice my thoughts about what this area was going to look like. The start of the building up of the hillsides for the back right hand side of the layout. I've got two boards which I'm going to have to be able to take out because there's track behind there, and I don't want to enclose it in completely and not be able to get to it, just in case, touch wood, I've not had any problems in that area with derailments or anything, but there's always that 1% chance, isn't there? So make these boards so that they can be removed. I'll show you them in place later on in the video. So I've got the larger of the two boards in place for the hill scenery at the back of the layout, and you can just see where the second board fits in there, and you can also just see that there's track in there, which is why I wanted it to be removable. So this is very embryonic. We'll get some more polystyrene on there, and then we'll get it shaped, covered in some plaster bandage, and then we can do some painting and decorating, and hopefully that will turn out to look quite nice. The fascia board on the front there, the whole of the layout's going to have fascia board on the edge, so we'll make it neat and tidy, but that's just hiding a multitude of sins under there at the moment, and I'm quite chuffed with that. Second board in place now for the hill scenery at the back right of the layout. You can see I've put the strip in above the tunnel portals now, which I think is going to look okay, and then once I've carved this to the required shape, I think that will look quite decent. Obviously I've got the beam to contend with. That disappears into the hillside. Not a lot I can do about that really, just other than to model round it, and that's just one of those things. So we'll get all this cut down. also the view as promised into the tunnel going under the hillside in the far right corner. It's not fixed into place again yet, but that's pretty much where it's going and what it will look like. There'll be another portal on the top of the elevated section there, attached to the board. More of that to come. The larger of the two hillside scenic pieces has been shaped. Polystyrene has been shaped, and now I've covered it in papier-mâché, and the next stage will be to give it a coat of plaster bandage, and then once that's dry we can give it a paint and then add some more scenery. I'll come back to you in a short while to show you when I've completed the next stage. Just thought I'd also show you what that larger board of the hillside looks like in place, so you can get an idea now of the sort of thing that I was looking at. I'll show you another picture in a second of the other board in place as well, once it's been brought up to the same stage as this one. And also the larger of the two boards. Really starting to take shape now. Just this edge here, just to shape and then cover with the plaster bandage, just to complete the effect there. So the next stage of the building of the scenic hillside takes shape. As you can see, I've put some plaster bandage over the carved polystyrene to make the desired effect. And now we've got the two pieces of board pretty much in place, just making sure that they fit. A little bit of tweaking just to do in the back corner there, just building that up a little bit, and some more plaster bandage just in that corner alongside the beam. This joint can be disguised with either a separate joining piece that just lays on top, or by the clever use of some bushes. I'm sure that won't be a problem, but I hope you can see now that's how it looks, certainly in its outline. Once that plaster bandage is completely dried, we'll get that painted, and then we can start doing some proper scenic work with it. Get the tunnel mouth built on the raised section there. Just build it all round the top of the bottom of the board. Something to fill in the gap there, probably some brickwork, I suspect, and that will look reasonably good, I think. plaster of Paris moulded rocks onto the hillside now, which is the next logical stage, I guess. So on both the larger and the smaller sections, I'll show you those in place in a short while. But that's what they're looking like now. Again, they just need blending in a little bit more foliage round the outside of the rocks, and I think that will look okay. So I'll come back to you again once I've done that. Well, the scenic hillside is complete. It's finished. Looks pretty good. I am quite content with how that's all turned out. I'll show you the larger section in a second, and then I'll show you both sections in place. And here's the larger of the two sections now. You can see a fenced field along the slightly flatter top part there. Fenced signpost at the junction of the tracks, showing the way, the marked coloured routes that most of these places have nowadays. Managed to get some nice trees on there as well, and all in all I think that looks pretty good, and I'm pretty happy with the way that's turned out. If you have any comments, suggestions how I might have done it differently, or ways to do it in the future, then by all means leave a comment in the section down below.